Hello, everybody. Happy Purim. I'm apologizing that my face is not orange and that my wig is weird. Actually, here you can barely see all the cards I got. Anyway, I wanted to have like a geopolitical costume, and then my brother was like, how about you wear look like Trump, you be Trump, but in a certain moment, where he tells Zelensky, you have no cards. We have the cards or something like that. And I said, that's perfect. And I wanted to look like Trump, and going to the store was like a real battle. Everything was sold out, basically. This is what happens. And I got this wig, which is actually too small for my head, to be honest. I can't even cover it, but it used to be like a woman's blonde hair wig, and I just cut it. And this is how I went. I was the coolest Trump ever. Hello, happy Purim, Hey, Shona. Happy Purim. Wait, I actually... So how y'all doing? I actually have another. Yes, she looks more like Einstein than Trump. Yeah, well, I already went partying with this costume, so the wig, like, it was flatter. Yeah, it didn't survive. And to be honest, you cannot see right now, but I cut my hair, so I have half of the hair that I used to have 2 days ago. But somehow, even though it's half of the hair that I had, this wig is still too small. Chag Sameach, everybody. Ain't it? So, let me see what you guys are seeing. Let's see who's here. Hello. Lol. Ayatollah. Hey, Shana. Happy Purim. How you doing? Purim Sameach, Alona. How is everybody doing? Greeting from Greece. So here's my story. I have a story, because actually something happened not that long ago to remind me this story. So when I was, a couple of years ago, 2 years ago, I was in Argentina, in Buenos Aires during Purim, and I decided to have a party. And I was the only, like, I wasn't the only Israeli Jewish person, but actually, to be honest, like, I only had one other person who came to that party that I decided to make. So I didn't know what we were supposed to do in Purim. And then last minute, there was a different party. But, I already arranged a party. So everybody who showed up were Argentinians. And what we do during Purim at night, we read the scroll of Esther. And every time you hear the name Haman, you're supposed to go. And here's the thing. So I went to the movies. I went to see Wicked with my mom. And when we went out of the movie, I got an unexpected call from one of the attendees of that party that I had arranged to celebrate Purim. And he called me and he was like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Mostly in Spanish because his English not amazing, but we managed. And he handed over the phone to the guy next to him who was like, hey, what's up? So here's the thing. And he spoke Hebrew. So that was another Israeli. So our friend here, said that a year ago when you came, you had this amazing drinking party that you made. And there was this song that you played. And there was a drinking game. And I was like, what? What song? What are you talking about? And then I remembered. So here's what I did. I took the scroll, and instead of doing the noise, because nobody there spoke Hebrew, and they were actually just another Israeli, which surprisingly enough wasn't the best at it. So you have a bunch of people who don't speak Hebrew. And I was like, let's play the Megillah. So I opened the Spotify. I put the player, somebody who was actually reading the Megillah. So the song was a Chazan or something that was reading the Megillah of Esther, the scroll of Esther. And every time the name of a man was up, there was the first one to make a noise would decide who would take a drink or something like that. And the last one who would not. And I did it for every name. I did it for Achashverosh, Esther, Haman. And every name, if they noticed it, right, the first person who noticed it had to give a mission or had to decide who is taking a shot. So that was so funny. And it was so funny to me because they loved it so much. It's like, what was this song that you played? And I'm like, song? What are you talking about? And then I realized he's talking about the scroll. Like the song that I played was the scroll. I was like, yes, it was the most amazing because apparently the moment he saw another Israeli, we have to do this again. You have to play this game again. So funny. And everybody was wearing a costume and everything. So that's amazing. Shano, thank you for support so much. Here, let me see. Wait, what happened? I think my computer is a bit stuck. Hello. Thank you so much, Anna, for your support. It was sunny yesterday and now it's snowing. It feels appropriate for Purim. Happy Purim. Yes. Thank you so much. Rebecca, female to male transition stream. Hi. I could I look like a man? Am I man passing? All right. Chag Sameach, everybody. Chag Sameach. Thinking, should I sound more? Yeah, I look more like Einstein. I do. I'm the cutest and most valid Trune. I don't know what Trune is, but thank you, Chad. Okay, so how you all doing? No, you're too pretty to pass as a man. Okay, let's look some funny videos, by the way. So I think aren't a lot of people here, but those who joined, thank you. Actually editing a video talking about like the deep state in Israel. I don't know if it would interest anyone, but yeah. Sometimes I make it videos and I'm like, I don't know who would care, but my hopes are up. All right, let's watch some videos. Let's do some random news. Chag Sameach, Shachar. Yeah, I know. Where is everyone? I guess partying. They're either partying or like, I don't know, doing something. It's like almost 1 a.m. here. I just thought I'd pop up so you guys see me. All right. So today Jews have not come. Yeah, they are partying. People are having fun. I went out yesterday and the day before that. So I'm good. I'm taking a break from taking out, which is very like, you guys should be proud of me. Good job, Rebecca. Good job. It is a special holiday, yes. My computer is a bit stuck, so I cannot bring Shana's message down. So Shana, you're with me. You're with me here forever. So here's what's another thing that's special about Purim. Purim talks about sort of a Nazi type person, like a Hitler type person taking power and announcing a genocide, planning a genocide against the Jews. And then there is a whole plot where they managed to reverse the decision, but they didn't manage to reverse the decision. What they did manage is that by using some lobbying power, as in using a very pretty, good-looking woman to get closer to the king and direct him to another possible ways of thinking. The yeah, the rabbis are. They managed to change the verdict. So instead of genocide, Jews were allowed to protect themselves. And what I love about how poetic that is that to this day, right, when people are coming to genocide us, what we are fighting for is the recognition that as a minority, we have the right to defend ourselves. And this is what we're celebrating. We're celebrating the fact that an empire that was, huge and had a huge army, probably bigger than the whole Jewish population, allowed the Jews to protect themselves from those who would come and attack them. And this is like the biggest celebration. And there are several famous quotes of the Rambam and the Talmud saying that out of all the Jewish holidays, Purim is the most important one. Even Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, sounds like Kippurim, like Purim, as it is second to Purim. So I know a lot of people that love talking about like what happened to the Nazis, what happens to people who come and like shout genocidal slogans at us, like they go to the scroll, which is very much in that spirit. And how beautiful, like last year, I think it even had more impact since it was at the height of the Khamenei going crazy. And I think like, a month later, like a little after Purim, we got a barrage of ballistic missiles sent at us from Iran. And during that time, that period, so by the way, yes, the kingdom, the empire we're talking about is the Persian Empire. So it wasn't the king that wanted to genocide the Jews. The king was just a drunk person. Like literally, this is what he did, the whole scroll. It was just drinking and going from party to party. And in the little moments that he was sober, like things like, this was the time to act. But he had his counselor who was running things. He was not happy about Jews being rude and not, there was one Jew, you always need one Jew. You need a Soros or an Epstein. Like, you don't need two Jews. You just need one Jew that would upset, a token Jew to upset the goys. And Mordechai was someone like that. So maybe 99.9% of the Jews bowed to Haman, but Mordechai was like, I'm not bowing to you, you're an asshole. So Haman had reacted the way every person reacts when a Jew doesn't bow down to them. They start chanting that it's time to genocide and kill all the Jews. Why is it so common and like a real life trope that is so ridiculous? Yeah. I don't know why is it such a why is it such a big thing? It's like one annoying Jew that you leech on to. And this is all the Jews are like that. And you can always find this Jew because there is, of course, you have a Schumer, which is Palestinian, thank goodness. At least Trump recognizes the fact that, yeah, he used to be a Jew and he now is Palestinian. One of the biggest things about being a Jew is that you're born a Jew. And according to Judaism, you're always a Jew. But, sometimes people don't want to be part of the group they were born associated with. Like Chuck Schumer, he wants to be a Palestinian. Let the man be a Palestinian. He's a Palestinian. Come on. Okay. It's one thing that if you look at Israeli, like Jewish law, like once you're born to the Jewish peoplehood, it's not exactly that you can leave. But it doesn't mean that you are part of the, you can come back if you repent. And Chuck Schumer decided to worship a new God and didn't repent yet. He can come back. This is why his status is not completely revoked, but he's not exactly a member of the community either. Okay? But now, you joke, Schumer. No. Thank you, Trump, for recognizing. Yes, he's a Palestinian. Come on, he's a Palestinian. Okay. The heck a Jew. Can you imagine? Yes, Chuck Schumer represents the Jews. Okay. Fine. All right. So Soros, whose family left Judaism 100 years ago, 200 years ago, and still they're Jews. forever and ever. Never stop being Jewish. Anyway, so yeah, so you had this one Jew who didn't bow down to the person in power. So he made the obvious conclusion, which everybody makes, except from Trump, because Trump is not so stupid. But the American left, like Ked and so on's, I don't know, the latest people, like what's his name? Joe Rogan interviewed, like people like that, it's like they find this one Jew they don't like, and then it's like the next obvious step is to genocide all the Jews. So last year, this was exactly the situation we were at, and it was funny because it was even the same Persia that was trying to annihilate us, which they still do. And during that time with the Biden administration, that a Palestinian like Chuck Schumer was in very high position. And you can understand like how difficult of a situation Israel was at. And, with a little bit of acting lovey-dovey, sending politicians, right? Sending Netanyahu, like doing a little bit of shoulder massage to Biden and stuff. We got the permission to defend ourselves from a barrage of ballistic missiles that were sent towards Israel with every intention to annihilate the entire country. We were lucky and grateful and celebrated the fact that the world was kind enough to let us defend ourselves. But not a little bit more than defending ourselves. And everything that was beyond defending ourselves was against the whole world. Yes, so that was the situation we're at. And yeah. So can I tell you that last year's Purim felt somewhat like too close to home? It's like I cannot describe how much my view. Okay, it's not that it changed. I always loved the Bible, like the Hebrew Bible, right? But since October 7th, I was like, you know what, like I didn't think that I would understand it that close and personally. Like just by living through all the stories. Like, this is thousands of years of history. I was like, how about we cramp everything that's written here? How about we do it in like a couple of years? That would be fun, right? So how about in April, you're gonna experience the scroll of Esther perfect recreation. And, in October, like 2023, you had experienced and finally understood exactly what the author had intended and what they had in mind when they wrote the description of what is Amalek. What else? What's the next story we're gonna recreate here, huh? Huh? How about we find something nice? Right, Shana. That was funny that Trump said that about Schumer. Oh no. My computer slow. Hello. It's even funnier though that the Jews are letting a non-Jew say it. What do you mean? Who else would say it? I mean, if you can be born to a Christian family and not be Christian, right? But you can be born like, You can be anything. Russians can turn to Americans. But the Jews, no, forever. But here's the thing, like, according to our tradition, it's true. But according to Western tradition, you can change loyalties. So you cannot apply the same laws that we apply on our people. It's discriminatory by definition, right? So, because you're applying different standards to different people. So what that in our tradition, Jew is a Jew is a Jew. Okay, your tradition says that you can switch loyalties. Okay, so you have two choices. Either you decide that once somebody is something, they're something forever. So every person that was born a Christian is a Christian. Every person that is born to us in a certain country is this representative of that country, and so on and so forth. And then Jews are like, we apply the same logic. Or goes by your standards, and Jews who decide to be Palestinians, call them Palestinians. They are Palestinians. So yes, it's of course, a non-Jew has to say it. A non-Jew has to say it. And by the way, like, just like I said, like for Jews, it doesn't matter if you are born a Christian and then you don't believe in Christianity. Jews don't understand this concept, right? To them, it's like if you're born a Christian, you're Christian. That's it. Like you don't go out of it. So, thank goodness. Anyway, I agree that it's a problem when you're, Yeah, I'm Jewish. Johnny and the bugs. Wait, I'm Jewish. Are you Jewish? Yes, I'm Jewish. Yes. Are you surprised? You know what's funny? I love it when I don't love it. I hate it. But I got like several times. I heard like somebody, like people told me like several times when they heard that I'm Jewish, they looked at me like, you don't look Jewish. Which maybe I don't look right now because of this weird wig, but every time somebody tells me that, I open the stereotypical description of how a Jew looks like, and I was like, look at the list of a stereotypical Jewish look. And if you follow it, you could see that I actually tick all the boxes. So I have like thick, dark, wavy black like hair. I have big eyes, big brown eyes. I have a nose, but I don't know. It's like look at the description. I follow the description perfectly. What do you mean I don't look Jewish? Weird, very weird. Oh, you thought I was Druze. Well, I mean, okay, so I'll be fair, okay? So nowadays it's a bit harder because everybody's mixed up. But yeah, like Jews and other Semites in the area look the same for the most part. So Jews look the same as Levantines, and the Druze are Levantines, like more similar to Levantines in their looks. It's very hard to tell. I can even tell you a story. When I was little, and there was a tourist, and I was with my dad, and we were at the bus station near the Dead Sea, and there was like a random backpacker, and I was like a kid, and we were talking among ourselves, and we were speaking Hebrew, and then he looked at us and said, are you guys like what are you? Are you Palestinians or are you Jewish? And I was like, I looked laughing. I was like, what and I asked my dad. And he's like, what? Like, can he not tell? And my dad was like, shut up. And he was like, no, we're Jewish. And I was like, how can he not tell the difference? And I was like, how can you tell the difference? Well, because we were speaking Hebrew and you can hear we don't have an accent. And then my dad was like, why do you think this tourist can tell whether like what accent you're speaking with? And then I was like, oh yeah. Shana, thank you. Well, I would never feel comfortable saying something as a Jewish, and Jewish people wouldn't usually let us define that. But you have a point. All right, that's an interesting thing. Okay. Speaking of random stuff, um, in Israel, like people would, this is something that I heard a lot from non-Jews. Israelis would look at tourists and look at them, and we're like, "You're not Jewish, right?" And it happens all the time, and it's so funny. I heard it from so many tourists, where they said like, "Why did these people just like? How do they know we are not Jewish by just looking at us?" And I look at them. I was like, "Where do I start to explain? You guys don't have Jewish features." And like the most crazy story I have about that is that because one person that I know, she was literally crying. She was like a German, but she was a student here, and at some point she just like she went through a breakup, and she was crying that she didn't want to go back and to dating German guys. She wants to date Israeli guys. And then she said, but every time I talk to Israelis, like they look at me and all they say is right away is like, you're not Jewish. And she like crying with tears, like, how do they know I'm not Jewish? Like, how do they know? And I look at that very German looking girl and I was like, how do I? You girl, just don't look Jewish. What can I say? You just don't look Jewish. Anyway. But here's the thing, is like not looking Jewish. We have it too. So the USSR, Russian Jewish community intermixed a lot with non-Jews. So a lot of the Aliyah that came from the USSR, a lot of them are not Jewish. Some are not Jewish at all. Some are not Jewish according to the Halacha. And some are Jewish according to the Halacha, but they have 50% non-Jewish genes. And and for me, it's like it's so easy. Like, you know, it's like you look at them, and I got to ask that question so many times. Like, I look at this person, and look like, you're not Jewish, right? And like, yeah, I have like a mixed or like not Jewish. You can just see that, you know. But Arabs, some look different, very different. But it's a specific group that looks more southern. So you have the group of Arabs that look like they're Bedouins, and they look different. Unless you're in, like, but when I went to university, I was like, man, you cannot tell. You cannot tell the difference between Arabs and Jews, especially if they want you to not know. Because here's the thing, like the way we tell the difference is not by exactly looks, is by the way we look. So the way you observe the world is different if you are Jewish or Arab, and the way you dress, and then like the way you talk. But when you're in university and you're studying together, some just like they know you, they pick up perfectly how an average Israeli talks and looks around and wears, and then you cannot tell the difference. Nope. Yeah, so this is something I've learned, that you actually have to ask who is in front of you to know. Somebody asked, what happens if a Jew converts to Islam? Yeah, he's still a Jew. Ugh. Okay, not now. My computer is stuck. One second. Gado, you can always feel a hint of accent. Yeah, I was also naive. And my cousin told me, no, no, no. Those, he didn't use not a nice word after that, but it wasn't really offensive. It was just in context. Like if they want you to not know, you're not gonna know. Yeah, I'm far behind the chat because I told you it's stuck. Saint Miles, thank you for support. So what are your plans for Purim other than talking non-Jewish? So I went to a party on Tuesday. I went to a concert yesterday. I'm gonna have a Purim party with my family tomorrow. And I wanted to go to Jerusalem on Sunday, but I also have to go to a dentist, so I don't know. Shana, you look extremely Jewish. You look Semitic, Levantine, Middle Eastern. Thank you, Shana. I know, right? I look everything. All right. So sorry, guys. My chat is slow, so it's gonna take me time to understand where you guys are at. Okay, let me share some fun stuff. Random fun stuff. Is this me? No. All right. Ta-da-da, this is me. Oh yeah, so the great exercise random stuff, but I kept some. You guys want to see the craziest photos? So this is adloyada from Tel Aviv. So the first adloyada was in 1912. I want you to see properly. Wait, gonna make myself smaller. When did I get so big? So in March 2012, so this was the first adloyada. So adloyada is like a festival when people dress up. And, you know, there was like Haman, which was the bad guy, and you have the good guys. And here, so this is from the 30s. And I don't know, it's like, it's not clear, but there are some crazy photos here. So this is in 1935. This is in 1934. But I really couldn't figure out what's happening here. So people were dressing up. 1936. As adloyada, people, look at that. This is from 1935 in Tel Aviv. This is 1935 in Tel Aviv. And it's a Nazi exhibition or something. I don't understand what it is, to be honest. But this is crazy. So this is 1955. This is crazy. All right, there are things that we're gonna deal with another day. Let me. So this is Tel Aviv. People are having fun. This is the adloyada. This is nice, Purim in Iran, before the Dark Ages. There are plenty of photos like that, by the way. By the way, I think the UN investigation finds Israel committed genocidal acts by demolishing Gaza's fertility center, enforcing a siege, and restricting aid. I say that if there are genocide claims, already guilty, right? Might as well be guilty. No. Oh, have you guys seen that? I didn't see that. I saved it for later. Let's watch it.
Stop hostilities, but we proceed from
What is this? I want to hear the Russian. Why is it with English?
the fact that such ceasefire
Philip Daniel saying, Rebecca,
be such that would lead to a permanent peace and remove the initial original.
The UN also accused the UK and US of committing genocide in Saddam's Iraq for imposing sanctions on it. Sweet. All right. I was saying, Shauna. Whenever I tell a British person I have a British heritage, they tell me I look Irish. Humans are not very good at visual patterns because also humans are very mixed, so it's not fair. Rebecca's disguise looks as convincing as the girl from the 80s film, just one of the guys. Boom, roasted. Thank you, yes. Right, let's hear Putin from start.
We agree with the propositions to stop hostilities, but we proceed from the fact that such ceasefire should be such that would lead to a permanent peace and remove the initial, original causes of the crisis. We agree.
That's awesome.
With the propositions.
By the way, I wanna, the ceasefire, we need it, okay? Because the problem is Turkey, and Russia is a waste of time. Sorry. A wasting of time on Russia. Okay, this is... Oh, wait. This is people arguing style Purim. My computer. Okay, let me move to this scene until my computer wants to react. Am I even live? I don't know. The computer is so slow tonight. So slow. Putkin. You look like my family because we are from the same Jewish subsection. So you do look so Jewish. What your Jewish subsection? Right, Rebecca, you joined the West. Yo, Rahat, you don't understand geopolitics, do you? You joined the West and let Turkey join Russia. Are you like, are you really like, people say so much stupid things. Do you understand geopolitics, like, at all? At all, at all? It doesn't make, Turkey is Russia's biggest threat. You have to be crazy to think what you wrote made sense. Ahat, you cannot become Jewish. You are not so smart. And believe me, we don't need more stupid Jews. There are enough stupid Jews as is. If somebody wants to join the club, at least let them be smart, because we have a lot of our own stupids. So this is really cute. They did like a video where Benny Gantz had and Almo Cohen had made like a video gifting each other gifts for Purim. So in Purim, you're supposed to give each other this bouquet of sweets, and you're supposed to give it to everyone, like everyone to everyone. And and those are two, like they are opposing politically completely, and they decided to show this spirit of holiday, making a video, which I think I want to show you, but there would be too many things to explain, I feel like, if I showed you that. I don't know. Is there like a translation? Yeah, no, probably not. Thank you, thank you. Oh, this is fun. So, yes, on Tuesday, IDF soldiers that are in the buffer zone in Gaza and noticed a little boy coming towards them. He was like 4 years old. So they picked him up and talked to them. And apparently that child was sent by Hamas. They just sent him, like told him to walk there, to walk towards the IDF. Like they're sick people. All right, this is some random. Oh, by the way, apparently, like Bedouins in the south had decided to adopt the whole safari, so they managed to smuggle to Israel like lots of, I don't know if this, I don't think this one is real, but they smuggled lion cubs, and people were like, if they can smuggle lion cubs, imagine how much illegal weapons and stuff they can smuggle super easily. Like they managed to like smuggle lion cubs. So Philip here is asking you, and you're telling me that the occupiers didn't kill the child, Asbara. So they did something worse than killing the child. They returned him. They returned him to the assholes that sent him. Alive, yes. But believe me, I think this is the least moral thing you can do. It's what you're supposed to do according to international law, but sometimes international law and morality are not exactly the same, believe it or not. Sometimes things that sound good on paper are actually a very bad idea. Like, don't take the children of the enemy. Sounds good on paper, but what if the enemy are a bunch of psychopaths that just send kids your way? Yeah, definitely not the most moral thing to do. Ayatollah, Bibi should have given Macron them patron silver sword. Oh my god. Yeah. Thank you for your support, Ayatollah. Okay, you guys, my computer is unhappy tonight. So I'm gonna have another live with you another time. More serious one. I just wanted to show off my costume, to be honest. And have this like celebratory live. But today was a very hot day, and it's hot, and my computer is hot. Maybe this is why it's stuck. We're back to summer temperatures, and it doesn't like it. It got hot like this. Like one day it was cold, and then summer. So thank you everybody for being here. Chag Sameach, happy Purim. Love you all.